We are with Representative Sharon Wylie with the 49th District. How are you doing?
Great.
So this is the first day of April. Technically, we should be done in 27 days. Is that correct?
That's correct. The leadership and the committee chairs are rolling up their sleeves and working through some of the hard questions. Big one is how we're going to put enough money into schools to satisfy our constitutional requirement.
There are a lot of different versions going around the budget. On the one hand, we're hearing that we have $2 billion more in this budget than we did in the last budget. But on the other hand, we're hearing we're $2.1 billion in the hole. So which one is true?
Depends on how you phrase it, but the reality is that we have a lot more people, a lot more elderly people, a lot more wear and tear on our roads, and a lot more veterans coming back from overseas and coming out of the military. So we have more people needing services, so the money we have has to go farther. There's a mild increase in revenue from the slightly improved economy. It's very, very slow, but it's more than offset by the demand in our schools and in our educational system and with needy people. We're also under a lot of pressure to try to figure out how to keep tuition in higher education stable. Not only are we stretching to try to educate people coming out of high school, but a lot of people are trying to go back to school because their skills are obsolete, and our economy is geared towards educated people. And that's where the jobs are, and there's actually more jobs than there are people with the right skills to get them. Some of the best companies in our state have to bring people in from out of state because we are not educating people for those jobs. Mm-hmm. That's a serious problem for our economy.
So when it comes time to writing these budgets, what is it like? What do budget writers go through?
We do something called zero-based budgeting. It's been a long time since governments could afford to just do what they did last time and add a percentage for inflation. That hasn't happened anywhere in government for a long time, but that's how people think government operates. We scrub the budget, we move things around, and we try to do the things that really help people that can't help themselves. And a lot of those programs, if we stop funding those, we lose $2 for every $1 we cut. One of the great things about technology is that it makes complicated things more understandable and more accessible to regular folks. And there's a link on this website where you can play around and see what happens if you cut the budget here or cut there. It's a pie chart that is adjustable so that a person like yourself can go on the site and see what happens with different kinds of cuts and see where the money goes. Okay. And what happens if you do different things.
I just wanted to ask you very briefly about the CRC. What's going on now?
As we all know, it's going to be a very, very challenging year, and there's a lot of disagreement about the CRC. My seatmates and I have been working really, really hard to make sure that people have the information. We devoted an entire 2.5-hour town hall to the CRC. We're trying to respond to rumors with good information. Bottom line is I feel that it's time to move forward, because if we don't, we lose $850 million of federal dollars and we go to the end of the line, and it'll be 10 to 20 years or until the next earthquake before we see that again. The approaches to the bridge are dangerous and have high accidents. The bridge is not stable in the case of a bad earthquake, and that there are companies that aren't locating here because of the problems and the choke points on the bridge. So I think we need to move forward. We need to be very careful about overseeing the project and answering people's concerns and treating everybody with respect in this process, because it's tough.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
You bet.